What's up, Soul Tribe? It's your girl Dominique with Empathic Guidance, and I'm back with another video for you guys today. And today, this is not a reading, guys. I'm just want to have a little short chit chat with you guys about knowing yourself and making sure that you know yourself so that other people can't convince you of who you are. That's very, very important. Okay, guys? So, one second. Let me turn the flash off. Okay, that's better. Okay. So today, and like I said, this is just something that I'm kind of reacting to, but I feel like it's a reaction that needs to be had so that in case you yourself, anybody that watches my channel that is also clairsentient or an empath as well, so that you do not allow people to convince you of who you are. Okay. Um, So real briefly, I'm going to just touch on the content that I came across today that was kind of disturbing because the person in this video was making a lot of false claims. And it could be some truth to some of the individual things that they were stating, but the statement as a whole, I don't know if it was meant to be clickbait or what, but I had to click on it because I'm like, I know this person lying and I know they joking. All right. So I'm just like, I'm about to give a brief reaction to what it is that I watched first. And then I just want to go into speaking on, why it's so important for you to be strong and stand 10 toes down and knowing who you are and not allowing anybody to convince you otherwise. Okay. Because we do live in a world where a lot of people claim to be good when they really bad. Let's face it. So it's one thing for people to kind of have have some doubt in their mind, like, are these people really as nice, caring, and sympathetic as they claim to be? Or are they just, on the opposite spectrum pretending to be that so that they can gain some sense of attention? But that's the reason why that was so insulting to me. The video that I watched earlier, that which was saying that empath and narcissistic dynamic is not real, that it's made up, that it's really some Harley Quinn Joker dynamic where both people are bad, but one person is just more bad than the other. And I was just surprised, you know what I'm saying? I was just shocked, like, really? Obviously, and I'm not going to do anything to like try to put the person that was delivering this message down, because in actuality, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to keep it 100. I just feel like that person is misguided, misled, and they need to do more research and become more well versed on what a narcissist is and what a real empath is. Um, First of all, the number one characteristic of a narcissist is that they lack empathy. So I'm trying to figure out first how an empath can get themselves mistaken for an empath. Whether you genuinely feel for other people or if you don't. Narcissists do not. They don't take accountability. They don't empathize nor sympathize with other people. Even when they act like they do, it's always going to be subtle hints of passive aggression or dismissive energy, which I feel like this person kind of is, because this is not the first thing that this person has kind of tried to debunk, and it just made her look extremely dismissive and insensitive to other people's lives and experiences, because you can't say something does not exist or is not real just because it's not your experience. You just can't do that, because that's really making you look like a narcissist, which I don't mind calling her, since she's saying that empaths are technically fragile narcissists. So I really only got maybe 5 minutes into the video because it was just a lot of stuff that was being said that just really wasn't true. Number one, that we just put up with abuse. A lot of times it's very hard to identify the fact that you're being abused when you're with a narcissist, because a lot of them are not physically abusive. Most of them are mentally abusive, which they do a lot of love bombing and idealization before they even get to the stages where they stop idolizing you and they start demonizing you, and then they demonize you throughout the entirety of the connection before they discard you. Okay, now what an empath does in these dynamics is that we typically chase the high that they gave us during the love bombing phases, and that's the reason why we stay throughout. I forgot what the real name of it is, but I know it's like the very things, the very essence of the things that a narcissist likes about an empath at the beginning of a relationship, they start to despise after the initial love bombing phase. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're going to be telling you all the things that's great, what make you a great person, and those very things they'll complain about once they're done, like kind of praising you and making you feel comfortable. And then what the empath will proceed to do, which is the aspect of us that most of us have to heal, is chase and people please so that we can gain that sense of admiration that we had back from them at the beginning. Now, firstly, I'm just trying to figure out, how can an empath mistake what they feel? You know, like, it's just aspects of the heart space that a narcissist does not tap into the way that an empath does. So when we tapped into other people's emotions, when we able to sympathize with people, when we take an accountability for the things that we've done wrong so that we can actually heal them, that's like very opposite of narcissistic, if you ask me. Um, she also made some type of statement that empaths complain, like we sit around and we self-loathe and we complain that we've been abandoned. I don't know any empaths that do that. I feel like every empath I know, including myself, we have chose to go into isolation because, number one, we notice that we attract these narcissists, which is why it's called a narcissist empath dynamic. So a lot of us, you know, we'll opt out of friendships. We turn down invitations to events because I get invited to a lot of shit. I'm not abandoned. I'm not abandoned by any means. I have to make executive choices when it comes down to who I share my energy with, because not everybody is trying to exchange. Some people are trying to deplete. And the more and more I become in tune with myself, the more and more I notice that. Even when I was Christmas shopping, like after 3 or 4 hours of shopping, I was tapped out. When I left out the house, geeked up with a lot of energy and ready to go shopping for my kids. By the time I was on my way home, I was exhausted because of all the energies I came in contact with. Narcissists need energy. They seek energy. They're not trying to avoid other energies so that they don't get drained. So I'm trying to figure out how you can get the two of those mixed up. And y'all can leave it down in the comments below. Like, definitely make y'all statement and let me know. Is there any way, as an empath yourself, or even if you identify with being a narcissist, that you can get yourself mixed up for being the opposite? How does that work? When one embodies the very essence of the thing that the other one lacks, and that's the reason why they come together like positive and negative magnets, like a moth to a flame. Because what one person has an abundance of, the other person is lacking. So that was another kind of slap in the face. But again, I'm not going to jab back. I'm just trying to educate not only the person that made that video, because they probably more than likely going to watch it. You know what I'm saying? Watch this video. But empaths yourself. You know what I'm saying? Those of you out there that identify with being an empath. I'm just trying to educate those that haven't actually picked up a book. Or number one, forget about picking up a book or watching a video, because at the end of the day, experiential knowledge trumps all of that. You know what you've been through. Don't let nobody sit up here and tell you what you've been through. Things that have been said to you, things that have been done to you did not happen to you, because you know what that's called? That's called gaslighting. And you know who gaslights? Narcissists. So I'm not trying to call the person that made the video a narcissist. But I hate to tell you, sis, but you are gaslighting people out here. You making people second guess who they are. You trying to make people believe that if they think they an empath, they really a narcissist, and that's not cool. You saying that we self-loathing and we feel sorry for ourselves and we be in victim mentality when we choose solitude. So it's like, actually know what you're talking about before you speak on somebody's life who is not yours, or a group of individuals whose life is not yours, because you are clearly not an empath. Because the stuff that you was saying just within the first 5 minutes was so insensitive that I had to click off. I'm like, yo, I'm not listening to this. Matter of fact, I'm not listening to this person at all anymore. And I can listen to opposing opinions, but questioning something and saying that it's factual is two different things. And it's not like you're just curious. You're stating this as if it's a fact when it's not your experience to debunk. So for all my empaths out there, definitely stand up. Not only on this post, but stand up for yourself. Know who you are. Be resolute in that and start standing up for yourself against people like that. Because I was going to let that slide, but it wasn't sitting well. It wasn't sitting well in my spirit to let that slide and not say anything about it, because I'm like, no, I'm not about to let another empath come across this video and walk away from this video actually questioning if they're a narcissist. If you out here and you can feel people on a soul level, and you trying to spread light, and you trying to learn about yourself, and you actually trying to right your wrongs, and you can actually take accountability for where you know the decisions that you made in life that have made your life not so great, or made you allowed you to experience negativity in your life. If you are on that wavelength, and not only are you looking to educate yourself, but you're looking to educate others so that they can know who they are, they can be strong, they can be a healed, awakened empath, rather than one that doesn't understand or see that whatever is going on, perpetuating in their life, is a pattern that they need to break, then you are an empath. If you know that you're a source of light, if people feel good and they feel fulfilled, if you have been told by many people that when they done having a conversation with you, when they done interacting with you, that they feel lifted up, then you, my friend, are an empath. You will not feel fulfilled on a soul level. You will not feel more energetic. You will not feel lifted up talking to a narcissist. If anything, you're going to walk away from that conversation feeling drained, feeling like somebody took something from you, rather than you walking away with something, leaving a positive impact on somebody's life. I'm sorry, but I haven't heard one story of a person that dealt with a narcissist having a positive experience or feeling like that person left a positive impact. If anything, they've had to search for the silver lining in that person being in their life. Like, oh, well, at least they let, you know what I'm saying? At least their presence in my life taught me who I am, and taught me that I need to heal, and taught me that I need to stop being such a people pleaser. So number one, y'all already know I'm just not the type of person to say, watch who y'all watching. No, watch who you feel drawn to watch. Every single last person, no matter how low or high vibrational they are, no matter how understanding or how superstitious and like dismissive they are. This is not just something that we say in the community. This is something that's psychologically known. So I'm just trying to, I'm maybe not the empath part of it, but definitely the narcissist. I do feel like the empath, this whole, like the whole empath, finding out that you an empath, finding out that those things that you feeling, like being able to pick up other people's pain, happiness, sorrow, all of that is a gift. That's the awakening part of that. Stepping into that and finding your purpose as a light worker within that, that's the awakening part of that. But most of the time, a narcissist is a catalyst for that. So it's definitely not always about us just putting them down and trying to pull ourselves up, because most of us, we take notice in the fact that The interacting with these people, no matter how much of a negative impact they left on our life, they brought us to the point where we are today, where we are curious and hungry for our purpose and our path, so that we can enlighten and bring awareness to these types of dynamics, just for somebody that is not obviously not well studied enough on the subject to try to debunk it. And I just can't let that happen. I try to avoid stuff like this at this point. I try to avoid things like this. But honestly, I don't feel like being bullied in 2022. I just don't. I'm going to stand up for myself, and I'm going to stand up for the people that I represent. And I encourage you guys to do the same. And not only that, but stand 10 toes down in who you are. Evolve out of the place of allowing somebody to make you second guess who you were. Because the one thing that made me feel like I needed to make a video about this is because if that was me 2, 3, 4 years ago, I probably would have been second guessing myself as well. The way she is convincing, the way that this person is trying to convince people that this dynamic doesn't exist. And that if you think you an empath, you more than likely a watered down narcissist. Like I said, stand 10 toes down and defend yourself when people try to gaslight y'all like this. When people try to say what you went through wasn't abuse. When people try to say that you're just as abusive, but just in a sneakier way. That's like, I was just like, wow, girl. Wow. But at the end of the day, it's all about growth. Maybe I wouldn't even have made this video on my channel to encourage you guys had I not ran across that. And the fact that somebody can just openly say their opinion and stamp it with big red bold letters that is facts, when in fact it's just her opinion. It's just a theory. It's one thing to have a theory, and it's another thing for it to be scientific or psychological fact. So with that being said, guys, be resolute in who y'all are. Don't let nobody tell you who you are. Definitely don't allow somebody to gaslight you and make you feel like, oh, you're a bad person too, just in a much sneakier way. Because narcissists are not out in the open with their malicious intentions. Most of the time, these things aren't fully exposed until 2, 3, sometimes decades down the line. So once again, educate yourself on who you are. Educate yourself on the situations that have been perpetuated in your life, because it's a purpose behind it. And if I wasn't walking in this purpose, I wouldn't even know how to verbalize, how to debunk what that person was saying about this community. But I wasn't about to go to bed without speaking up for myself and for other people like me. So I hope this reading I hope this message finds you guys well and is well received. And that you guys just take heed and be mindful. Listen to whoever you feel drawn to listen to. But know what to take in and fully consume, and know what to go ahead and leave there. Like, oh, okay, this ain't for me. All right? So, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Join the Soul Tribe, and I'll check you guys out on the next one. Peace.